Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., all rights reserved.
And now, back to the man who thinks Wall Street could learn a thing or two about how business is done on Main Street.
Well, if the good Lord don't like the way I conduct business, let him say something. Let him give me a sign.
Jim Blasingame, the Small Business Advocate.
Welcome back, 34 after the hour. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. My pleasure, as always. It's an honor for me to be able to spend time with you, especially when I get a chance to reintroduce you to our good friend and longtime Brain Trust member, Dr. Ivan Misner, the founder and the chairman of BNI, the man who put networking on steroids and put a rocket under it and made it an international activity. He's our good friend, Ivan Misner. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Jim. It's always great to be on the show.
Good to have you back. International Networking Week this week.
Our 5th annual.
How about that?
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
Very much so. I'm looking here at our activities for anyone who's interested in maybe participating in something in International Networking Week. Go to internationalnetworkingweek.com. And I'm looking here, and we have confirmed 18 countries participating this year.
Wow.
In International Networking Week, and there's probably a few that we don't have listed here.
Well, you know, Ivan, as you know, I wrote my column this week is all about International Networking Week, and I go back and bring in Paul Harris, the founder of the first Civic Club, Rotary, and his original thoughts on why he got Rotary started, and I blended your activity, your story in with that, and so my point though is that I'm going to go to my Rotary Club today. I've been a member for 20 years. I'm going to go to lunch with my Rotary Club today, and I'll be networking when I get there. So to me, international networking, obviously your BNI folks are going to be doing it in earnest this week, but networking can be done anywhere. That's the point I was making in the article. Networking is anything you do face to face where somebody benefits, right?
Yeah, it's really connecting with people to share ideas and resources, information, knowledge, help. And I think Rotary was probably, the original network.
Right.
As a matter of fact, in its original charter, I don't know if you know this, but in the original charter for Rotary, it was described as the purpose of Rotary was for the scientizing of business relationships. And of course, this was back in the scientific management days, the early 1900s, where everything was scientific management.
Mm-hmm.
And so they incorporated that phrase. But really, isn't that just basically networking, the scientizing of business relationships?
That's right, and that was the point I made, was that without realizing it, I think. What Paul Harris was doing was what we call the modern definition of networking, and so I guess the point I'm making is if you're a member of BNI, that's great. Go to your clubs and go to your groups and celebrate International Networking Week. But whether you are or not, take an opportunity to network with somebody this week, and to do what you talk about doing, which is givers gain, and Paul Harris's idea was service above self. That's the bottom line for networking, isn't it?
I think so, and I think BNI has a lot to owe organizations like Rotary Club, who they kind of went in the direction of focusing more on service than business. But
right.
I was a 16-year member of Rotary, and I'm here to tell you that business was done. It may not have been done right there at the meeting, but I did a lot of business with my fellow Rotarians.
Of course. No, I mean, it's just not talked about in the meetings, but there's no question that that's what you do. That's what you're doing. Part of what you're doing but while you're serving, that's the beauty of true networking, is people see you serving others, and that attracts them to you as a business person.
Absolutely does, and I think you and I have talked about the VCP process a lot, moving through visibility, credibility, profitability. One of the things about an organization like Rotary is that you get thoroughly engaged in credibility. You get to know your fellow members, and you become so confident with their ability to work hard and serve their clientele that you do business with them, and that's the real value of something like Rotary.
Right, no question about it. So what's going to be is You said 18 countries are going to be that you know
countries
of.
Like United States to Nigeria, Singapore to the United Kingdom.
What does that mean? We mean United States.
Well, I mean, these are just the different countries.
Yeah,
there are activities in those countries,
right?
But so diverse. I mean, a country like the United States, and yet we've got events going on in Thailand at the same time.
Right. Well, and Ivan, when I think back on this is your dream come true. Rotary was Paul Harris's dream come true, but International Networking Week was your idea, but it was also based on the foundation you'd already established 25 years ago for people getting together, and so I know it's got to make you feel good to realize that people are networking, they're benefiting each other around the world because of an idea that you had, folks. One person really can make a difference, and one of those people is Ivan Misner. 2010, I'm Jim Blasingame. Stay with us.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I see it burning bright. It don't matter.
Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., intended for the private use of our audience. Except as otherwise provided by copyright law, all other copying, redistribution, or publication without prior written consent is prohibited. All rights reserved. Prohibited. All rights reserved. Prohibited.